ramp at Duval Island in Floral City, and I'm getting ready to go out and enter the Orange State Canal. Well, I've just launched from the boat ramp at Duval Island in Floral City. Got quite a bit of wind out here today. It's going to give us some fits, but hopefully it won't bother me too much because I'm going to be heading over underneath that bridge there into what's called the Orange State Canal. That canal, as I understand, was dug back in the late 1800s. Around 1890-95, they had quite a prosperous orange grove business in this area, so they needed to bring steamboats in here to pick up the crop, take it over to Lake Withlacoochee, and then on down to Pensacola Lake, where they had a railhead. Unfortunately, about 1895, they had a series of hard freezes that destroyed that business, and so the canal went out of use for a while until later on in 1890 they discovered phosphates in the area, and they had a huge mining operation that continued on until the First World War. So wind's taking me around, so let me just swing around. It's looking north and back down onto the Salapaka Lake, and then over is Duval Island. I'm going to swing around now and enter in the Orange Canal, the Orange State Canal, and see what we can find. Underneath this bridge is where the Orange State Canal starts, and then just down a little ways after we enter, we'll come upon the another canal that goes around the Duval Island, and I'll show you that entrance when we get up to it. This is one of the entrances to the Hefner-Ferris Canal, which my understanding was this was dug around the island somewhere back in the 1800s. Actually, Duval Island is on the left, and on the right is just an island. We could go down this canal and around the other side and back out into the Orange State Canal. It's just a little island there. If we have time today, I'm going to take a ride down there. But right now I'm going to turn around, get back on the Orange Canal. You know, as a matter of fact, I'm going to go down this canal and around that little island, and then we'll go back out into the Orange State Canal. Let's see what's down here. Well, it's not really overgrown like it looked. It just has a lot of leaves floating on it. It's opened up nicely here, and it looks like we're just about out of this canal. We'll go around to the right, and that canal should take us right back out to the Orange State Canal. Alright, it's opened up a little bit here now, and it looks like down about where those trees are right dead ahead, to the right of that should be the canal that takes us back around this island and back out to the Orange State Canal. We got a little bit of wind picking up in here because we're more in the open. You can see that flag over there blowing pretty good today, and it's been doing that for about a week and a half now. The wind has been blowing pretty hard here, making it pretty hard to get out on the lake. So it's kind of nice to get in the canal where you can be protected somewhat from that wind. Got a blue heron coming by. I don't know if I got him or not. Well, looks a little deceiving. This wasn't quite yet the canal. It's a little further down, but I'm going to try to pan up in a tree. Got a pretty good sized osprey nest up here. Don't know if anybody's home. And the wind is kind of carrying me around, so it's kind of hard to hold the camera steady. Sorry about that. It's a little further around this little island than I thought. We're still in the canal going around it, and I haven't come to the main canal going around Duval Island, but we'll keep paddling along down here. I'm not complaining. This is an absolutely gorgeous day out here in the canal. The wind only gets to us every once in a while, so we'll motor on here and see what we'll run into. Well, as you might imagine, there's no road signs in here, but I think we finally come to the T. That should be the canal going around Duval Island. Swinging back around here to the right, I'm about to bump into a cypress tree. Around to the right, this should be the canal taking us back to Orange State Canal. Someone's taking the road sides down. It's so tough to tell for sure, but I'm pretty sure that's it. We did go around the island by motorboat a couple weeks ago. It's about a 6-mile trip around. I haven't been around by canoe yet, but it's on my to-do list. So, let me get back in that canal and let's back out to the Orange State. Very calm and peaceful back in here. I've been chasing a blue heron for about the last quarter mile. You'll see me coming and fly down the canal a little bit and land, and then I'll try to get up a little bit closer. I can get some images of him, and away he goes again. So he's a lot quicker than I am. Well, finally got a little piece of him. Pretty good sized fella. I've mentioned it before, but it's probably worth mentioning again that around this lake there are just miles and miles of canals. And one thing about these canals is there's not many places where you can stop and pull out and rest, because they're pretty much overgrown or they're private property, one or the other. And the other thing, of course, is there's no McDonald's along here, so if you want something to eat or drink, you better bring it with you, because if you ain't got it with you, you're not going to get it. Okay, I'm going to swing around here now, point down the canal, and there's the bridge where we first entered the Orange Canal, and then we entered the Hefner Canal around this little island. We're back now. I'm going to go down there and go left, and we'll go down the Orange Canal for a while and see what we can find. Well, that's the problem you run into when you're traveling without road signs. This is the Ferris Canal that we came out of just a few minutes ago, and I turned right, which took us back to the boat ramp. What I should have done is turn left, because this should be the Orange Canal straight ahead. It doesn't look like it's much used, and down there a ways there's should be a control lock which will confirm that is in fact the canal. So let's go take a look. It doesn't look like there's been any watercraft down here in a long time. There's a lot of debris floating on top. I don't know how deep this is or why nobody comes down here. I'm going to motor around a little bit here and find out. I keep expecting to see the African Queen steaming out of the horizon there. Well, let's see where we can get. Well, I have to admit that I'm not real comfortable back here. I keep bumping into submerged objects, and as I say, it doesn't look like anybody's been back here in a long time, and they may have good reason. So I think I'm going to turn around and head back to the boat dock. A lot of debris buried in the water here that I keep bumping into, and that could be why there's no motor traffic back here. And I certainly don't want to be bumping into any sleeping gators or anything else that might have a taste for plastic. Out paddling in these backwater canals would probably be a good idea to invest in a GPS. Although most of the time around here there's something close enough for a landmark that you can figure out where you're at. But I would imagine that up north of here, where all those canals are, it could really get confusing up there. But I'm hoping to be up there not too long from now and launching some of those spaces. There's a little canal going off to the left there along the roadway. I don't think it's much more than a storm canal, but I think I'll just go down a little bit and see what's in there. Well, as suspected, this ends right around the corner up there. It doesn't really go anywhere. It's just a little backwater canal from where they dug out to build this bridge, probably. I'm getting hung up in the trees here, so I'm going to turn around and get back to the boat launch, and we'll wrap this one up. We're back at the dock at the Floral City Duval Island boat ramp. Got a lot of traffic here today because it's a Saturday, so I'm going to have to wait a little bit before I get my turn to get out of here. Got a nice little paddle, nothing strenuous. Got to see a little bit more of the waters and the canals around the Sala Apopka Lake.
For more kayak stories and to post your favorite kayak story, click the button below.